When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs playoff football.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Goodness, what a catch!
Hornets, who are the number 8 seed. They check in at 9-2. Welcome inside the Wendy's broadcast booth, everybody. The Treehouse outside here at Lucas. Beautiful night for high school football. Ontario coach Chris Miller is with us tonight on the call. You get this far in the playoffs. We're now down to the final 8. Everybody is really good. This ought to be fun tonight. Malvern, you look at their schedule, the way they play defense, they have a lot of weapons. We know all about the Cubs and their weapons. This ought to be a good one here tonight.
Yeah, this is traditional, top 8 playoff football in Ohio, kind of back to that original number of teams left in the region with it being 8. And it's going to be a good football game. Watch Malvern warm up here. They got some nice big kids, athletic-looking kids. I think you mentioned earlier 1,100 people in the town of Malvern.
Correct.
Most of their boys that go to school must play football. So it's a good-looking roster, good-looking sideline there. So I think we're going to be in for a good one here.
Yeah, Chris was pointing out to me a good size on the line. If you're curious, Malvern, where is that located? That is 15 miles southeast of Canton. They hail from Carroll County, just population just over 1,100, and it's about a 90-minute trip, about 77 miles here. They defeated, to get to Lucas, they defeated Lowellville last week, 34-0 in the playoff opener. What jumps out to me, not only have they won 6 in a row, but they've pitched back-to-back shutouts. They haven't allowed Chris a touchdown since October 15th. I know that gets Coach Spittler's attention.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's something that pops off in film and how guys are flying around defensively, and certainly when you collect the stats and you get ready for next week's opponent and you see a number like two shutouts to end the season, that's got to be a concern, over there. But you know what, Lucas, what they're going to do something that probably Malvern hasn't seen all year. They're going to be a little bit different, and really excited to see how this game starts out tonight, and some of those early possession adjustments that each team's going to make.
Well, as we get ready for this game, some of the keys to the game, and we begin with concerns if you're Lucas. It's the three-headed monster of Malvern. They have three backs. They have the fullback Bryson White, who has 12 touchdowns, 468 yards. That's 5 a carry. KJ Thomas, 11 touchdowns, close to 700 yards on the ground. By the way, 8.8 a carry. And then you have the other tailback, and Xavier Watson, 7 touchdowns, 545 yards, averaging about 5 a carry. That's a concern, Chris, because a lot of times you have that featured back, maybe that guy you want to key on. If you're Lucas, there's 3 guys who seem to carry it pretty well for Malvern.
You've got to be disciplined. Like you said, sometimes one guy carries the load, and you can kind of game plan around that individual and do some things to take them away. And if they're distributing the ball that equally, they've just got to be very disciplined from sideline to sideline and do their job. And I'll tell you what is that, Bryson White?
Yes.
He is a load.
Middle linebacker as well, by the way.
Big boy running the football. So big fullback for each team tonight.
Yeah.
And it'll be a lot of fun to see how the Hornets utilize those 3 as the game progresses.
Well, Zane Finley, the fullback for the Cubs, but you got to talk about Grant Barrett, who just eclipsed 1,100 yards in 10 games. He had 4 rushing touchdowns a week ago, 16 on the year. He's been incredible. He's their leader tackle in terms of tackles on defense. Noah Langston's been really good defensively as well, as he has 88 tackles on the year. So those are just a couple of guys who lead the way for that Lucas Cub defense. As we are moments away from the start of tonight's game, we'll pause now for the playing of our national anthem. The national anthem by the Lucas Band, and we are a little over 3 minutes away from playoff football tonight. WMAN hooking up with our friends at the OH Report to bring you live Saturday night high school playoff football in the Division 7 Region 25 quarterfinals. Again, Lucas, the top seed, 9-1. Malvern, the Hornets, the number 8 seed, they're 9-2. Malvern, coached by fourth-year head coach Matt Churko. They averaged 33 points a game, allowed just 12. The Lucas Cubs, under 12th-year coach Scott Spittler, who in the playoffs for the 8th straight year. Here the Cubs hit the field out of the inflatable tunnel. They average nearly 27 a game, and they allow just under a dozen. How about this? 8 of 10 games this season, Lucas has allowed 2 TDs or less. You told me before we hit the air, you want to play late in the playoffs, you want to be in November playing football. What do you need? You told me good defense.
Yeah, I think we're going to see two pretty good ones here tonight, just based on the statistics and points allowed for each team throughout the season. And, I think if you're Lucas, you just come out tonight and do what you do and keep the ball on the ground and try to stay ahead of the sticks, especially if you know you're going against a good defense. Just get 3 yards a pop and continue to move the chains and understand that you're gonna lean on guys and you may bust one, because that's what they do so well. They just continue to pound the ball until one breaks.
Well, I'll tell you what, Malvern, impressive stats. 25 sacks as a team. They have 23 interceptions. Noah Ball, who's their stud wide receiver who has 7 touchdowns, broke the school record this season with 9 interceptions. Malvern has some talent. I mean, when you look at the roster and all this, Chris, this looks like a very good opponent here.
Yeah, I don't know how many times Lucas is going to throw the ball. They might, like you said, they might not throw the ball 9 times tonight, but yeah, that just speaks to the athleticism that they have over there, creating turnovers, getting in the backfield, picking the ball off. They've got some athletes, and they look the part in pregame, running around. They got some guys that move well. They're put together well. This should be a really exciting matchup.
Yeah, music is rocking here in Lucas, ready to roll. The Cubs, by the way, have allowed just 13 points all year in the opening quarter, which I think is so key. Nobody rarely goes down early and punches one in on the Cubs. They kind of set the tone. Their defense with 19 sacks, 75 TFLs as a team. Incredible number there, 9 takeaways. Grant Barrett leads them with 95 tackles. Of course, Finello and Colin Arnold with 9 TFLs. And Chris, I'll say this last statement before kickoff. When you get to playoff football, bottom line is survive and advance.
Move the chains, get stops, take advantage of opportunities when they come, and just enjoy the process.
Love it, and everybody is ready to go here in Cub Country. As again, it is Lucas and Malvern. The Cubs will receive the opening kickoff here. Bob Wine Field. Chilly night, but dry. We are thankful for that here in the tree house. If you're in Lucas and your camera operator is a Cub, probably a good night, right?
Yeah.
Gotta be, right?
And wearing shorts.
Thank you.
And he's wearing shorts.
That is a tough guy.
We pointed out every staff needs one.
Yeah. I am not tough. I'm in layers, so everybody's aware. All right, ready to roll here from Lucas as the Cubs have 2 guys back deep. Corbin Toms also back deep for the Lucas Cubs. Braden Jackson, as it will be Ryan Runyon to tee it up for Malvern. He'll kick it off left side. Corbin Toms across the 20-yard line, makes a man miss. Across the 30, 35, and it'll be dropped to the turf. Corbin Toms with a nice return. Again, across the 35-yard line, and they'll spot him maybe at the 36, so the Cubs will come out. And it's interesting, Chris Miller, Ontario head coach, joining us in the booth tonight. You know, I love to hear other coaches talk about Lucas because every coach says the same thing. Yeah, you can practice against it, but I told our kids, until you get out there, and that's what their coach told me, Matt Churko, you don't realize it. I think it might take a couple possessions till you realize, Chris, because it just keeps coming at you quick.
Yeah, Malvern's gonna have their first crack at it here in a second.
And the Cubs with a handoff right up the middle, and they'll plow their way across the 40, maybe near the 43, maybe even the 44. Zane Finley.
Such a signature way for Lucas to start a football game.
With an 8-yard run.
8-yard wedge play right up the middle. Second, I mean, who doesn't like 2nd and 2 here? Your playbook expands a little bit, maybe. But, you know, obviously this first drive is just kind of feeling them out and seeing what works. 2nd
down and 2, Lucas. The ball at their own 45-yard line. 40 seconds going into the game. They'll pitch it. Finello up through the hole. Get a block. Get it midfield and into Hornet territory at the 49. Love how Lucas just follows the blockers. And it is patience. It is patience, Chris, to follow, wait for those blockers, and let that hole develop.
Yeah, that was set up real nice. It's just kind of like a toss, and guys are kicking out. And we saw that last week. He put his foot in the ground and got north real quick. And obviously they rep the crap out of that, you know, in terms of running off blocks, and they do a really nice job.
About 16 yards in 2 plays for Lucas. Holman Kitchen Supply first down, 1st and 10 at the Malvern 49-yard line. Scoreless, 10:50 to play. Here in the opening quarter, they'll pitch it to Barrett. Double handoff. They get it to Finello. Works his way up the middle. And he'll be grabbed at the 45 of Malvern and shoved back by about 5 Hornets. Forward progress to the Malvern 45-yard line.
And he still gained 5 yards on that double handoff. It looked like it ended in the backfield, but it did not. After forward progression, gave him 5. So 2nd and 5. Once again, stay ahead of the sticks. Just keep pounding the ball if you're Lucas.
The Lucas Cubs 2nd down and 6 yards to go. The ball at the Malvern 45-yard line. 10:16 to play, opening quarter. We are scoreless at Bob Wine Field. Round 2, regional quarterfinals. The pitch it to Grant Barrett, who had 4 touchdowns a week ago, spins his way down near the 42-yard line. Malvern will then shove him back. Multiple guys in on the stop. Ryan Runyon and others in the middle there for Malvern to shove him back. Also on the, trying to see who else came off the bottom of the pile.
Yeah, it looked like a defensive end just kind of squeezed down. Right now, kind of what I'm seeing early is Malvern's D-line is standing real tall, and all their helmets are up top, which means Lucas is getting under their pads and getting good push. Even on a 1-yard gain, the middle of that defense kind of moved backwards.
That was Kyle Bossert, the D-line guy you mentioned, that went low there to make the tackle. They'll pitch it to the near side. Finello got a crease left side, inside the 40, inside the 35, and he will be dragged to the turf. A Holman Kitchen Supply first down at the 40-yard line. It was Will Steinberg, the defensive tackle, that chased him down on the stop, but not after Finello turned the corner and got to the 30.
That's right, backside tackle, running it down from behind. So important when you play Lucas to have great backside pursuit straight down the heels of the offensive lineman and just hope that you can catch him as he's crossing the line of scrimmage.
9:13 to play, opening quarter. We are scoreless. Cubs on the march, 1st and 10. At the Malvern 30-yard line, they'll hand it right up the middle, and you know who that's going to as he plows his way, Finley, down to the 25-yard line. Zane Finley with 5 yards right there, and I'll tell you what, the way that play's worked, you could just keep repeating that play because he seems to get 5, 7, 8 every time he touches the ball like that.
Yeah, eventually they're going to pinch and bring some pressure in there to try to stop that or root inside and try to take the knees of the O-lineman out.
Is that where you do something else?
That's why they're just kind of changing it up and keeping guys honest and protecting the edge and then, both A-gaps.
2nd and 5 as they'll hand the football off this time, and the Lucas Cubs are going to plow their way down near the 20-yard line as again they give it back to Zane Finley, and he gets 5 more. They're going to say not quite. Are they going to give him a first down? They are. Okay. I wasn't sure if they were going to mark him just a bit shy. No, it will be another Holman Kitchen Supply first down. So far so good for Zane Finley. Carries of 8, 5, and 5. That's not bad average, huh?
Yeah, right at you, right in your face, just coming downhill.
Coming right into your living room. 8:10 to play, scoreless opening quarter. The Cubs approaching the Reds on 1st and 10 at the Malvern 20. Again, Zane Finley up the middle. One of the Hornets jumped in there and grabbed him from behind. Actually, that was, again, Will Steinberg was one of the guys on the D-line to grab him. That time he got 4. Down to the 16-yard line.
I think that's just wedge again, 3rd time in a row. You kind of said it until they stop it. Just keep doing it.
And the one thing you think about with Lucas, 2nd down 16, is they just wear on you over the course of a game, and they take time off the clock. It's kind of a double whammy as they hand the ball off again. This one goes up the middle. Finello waits on his block, wiggles his way inside the 10, and he'll be down near the 6-yard line. He gets 10. That's another first down. And right now, Chris, the Cubs just marching this baby slowly but surely down the field.
Yeah, they got great push up front and kind of just walled everyone off from Malvern, creating a little seam there for him to kind of cut up and get inside off that little pitch.
All right, the Cubs, 1st and goal, and they are at the Malvern 6-yard line. 7:10 to play. Here in the opening quarter, we are scoreless. Under center, they'll pitch it. Finello working to the near side, waiting for the blocks. Left side, Finello is in. Touchdown, Lucas Cubs, a 6-yard run, and they just ran up the middle. They ran left, they ran right, and they just ran right into the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, these guys up front are cutting the guards. If they're not pulling, they're chopping defensive linemen, getting them off their feet. Malvern's got to do a better job of freeing up their hands and not getting cut so they can scrape down the line of scrimmage. Once again, if you don't have backside pursuit, it's gonna be a long night for you.
Andrew Finello, a 6-yard touchdown run. Aiden Culler is on for the point after. There's the snap. Kick is on the way, and he's got a good right leg. It's up and it's good. We'll take a break. 7:03 to play opening quarter. Lucas 7, Malvern nothing. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs playoff football.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not both?
Pigskin.
Podcast. podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Back in Lucas after the Cubs march it down the field and punch it in the end zone on the opening drive. The kickoff to the far side of the field is going to be fielded near the sideline. Good return by the return man. He tries to work his way down the sideline. That was KJ Thomas, and he was kind of just tiptoeing that sideline across the 30-35 around the 40 is where he will step out of bounds. And I have some big news locally. The Lexington boys soccer team just beat Lima Shawnee in overtime 3-2. They are headed to the state semifinals. It's always good when your boss sends you a note with some good local news. Thank you. Appreciate that. So congratulations to Lexington going to the state Final Four. Big game tonight here in Lucas. As a good return there after the Cubs had a score. That's a good for Malvern, Chris, if you think about it. That's a good way to grab some momentum back.
That's a good return. Kind of looked like a lot of Lucas guys kind of overran that, and he scored it up the sideline. They got fortunate that didn't go to the house.
And that time right there looked like the quarterback maybe wanted to go one way, and he got the ball. There was nobody there to hand it to, and the Cubs were there. Noah Langston to drop the quarterback for a 1-yard loss back to the 39. That looks a little mix up there, Chris.
Yeah, it looked like everybody stepped left, like they were trying to run some kind of zone scheme to the left. To me, it looked like the back kind of crossed the quarterback's back instead of his face. It looked like the play was intended to go to the left, maybe that the back just went the wrong way.
And the quarterback for Malvern, Tristan Phillips, has thrown 14 touchdowns on the year. But what you need to know is Bryson White, KJ Thomas, and Xavier Watson, they've combined on the year for close to 30 touchdowns. Those three have ran the football very well, and Malvern is going to burn a timeout, so we'll step aside. Back in a minute, 6:09 to play opening quarter, 7-0 Lucas over Malvern. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Lucas, Aaron Hines alongside Chris Miller tonight. OH.REPORT, WMAN teaming up for live high school playoff football. 7-0 Lucas. While you were away, it was about a 35-second timeout, not a 1 full minute. Pass over the middle to Noah Ball, and a big hit by Corbin Toms at the 35, bringing up 3rd and long at a quick pass to the near side. The receiver lays out and can't bring it in. It was Dylan Phillips, the sophomore. See him stretch out there, nearly brought that in, but it's incomplete, bringing up 4th and 5.
Man, that would have been a big one. Convert a first down on your first series. It just looked like Malvern to kind of start the game. A little bit of confusion, calling a timeout, maybe a formational thing. Kind of a product of, if you're trying to throw a bunch of different stuff at somebody, sometimes the kids get confused.
4th down now, and Malvern, Noah Ball, by the way, their stud receiver and defensive back, also handles the punting. 5:22 to go, opening quarter, 7-0 Lucas, and Ball will punt the football away. Langston will let it hit, roll inside the 20 and down near the 15-yard line. is where the Cubs will take over 1st and 10 Saturday night high school playoff football. We are powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. Aaron Hines, Chris Miller, Ontario coach, OH.REPORT, teaming up tonight to bring you Saturday night playoff football, Week 12, regional quarterfinals. Winner will get either Dalton or Independence at a neutral site next week, and I don't know a lot about them other than those are two good football programs, right?
I don't know much about them either.
All right, and Lucas will start this series with the football. They'll pitch it right side. Not a lot of room to operate. Good job by Malvern. Bryson White and others were right there to grab the back and shove him back.
It was a great play at the point of attack, just kind of squeezing down and taking on lead blockers. You know, you don't have to always tackle the football to impact the play defensively. A lot of times, you know, if you just spill the ball, you contact the guard, take him out, let somebody else free up and make the tackle. And that's just called, good team defense.
That was your guy Bryson White right there, the middle linebacker. 2-yard gain for the Cubs out to their own 17. 2nd down and 8. As they work it to the near side of the field, waiting for a block. Vanillo got the quarterback. Smolin gets a block across the 25, out near the 30, and then about 3 or 4 guys from Malvern to shove him back. But it will be enough for a Holman Kitchen Supply first down, as one of the linemen had to run down the line of scrimmage. Actually, that was the middle linebacker. That was Bryson White again. He had to run all the way down the line of scrimmage to make that tackle.
I just love how Lucas stays on blocks clear to the whistle. You see kind of white bodies flailing around at the end. Guys are engaged in blocks, running their feet, clear up to the end of the play. You just never know with this offense. A back makes a cut, and it could mean 6.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Cubs now 1st and 10 at the 29, their own 29. They'll hand the football off again. It'll go to Finello, and Finello's going to follow blockers right up the middle, across the 35 to the 36. Give him 7. And one thing is the Cubs have 2nd and a short 2 coming up here from just across the 36-yard line, leading 7-0 with 3:40 to play is a couple things. They're getting 5 to 7 yards of play, and they're chewing a lot of clock.
This is one of those things. You're just not going to get many possessions on a night like tonight, especially if Lucas is having success, getting first downs and moving the chains, and Malvern's got to get a stop here this drive.
2nd down, close to 3. They'll hand it off to Zane Finley. You call it the wedge in that rugby scrum where you don't even see him get the ball. It disappears into a sea of bodies, and he'll pull his way across the 40, out near the 41. Another first down for the Cubs, and I know we're still 3 minutes to play opening quarter. It's only 7-0, but you feel like that Malvern defense has just been out there forever here in the first quarter.
Well, they have. They ran 3 offensive plays, I think, and here they are back on defense.
Cubs 1st and 10, their own 41-yard line. They'll pitch it to Finello, waits for the block, navigates up the middle across the 45, driving the pile out near the 48-yard line. Good job again by Will Steinberg, the defensive tackle, among others. Also in on the stop, Dylan Phillips for Malvern, but again, 2nd down and short coming up, just a couple to go, close to 3 for Lucas, and just staying on schedule, as you would say.
Yeah, you just see that entire cluster of bodies just move 5 yards down the field. There's no leaking. The guys up front are hip to hip and doing a nice job of running their tracks offensively and picking blocks up.
2nd down and 3, Lucas at their own 48-yard line. They'll pitch it to Barrett. Grant Barrett into Malvern territory. Inside the 45, dragging people inside the 45 and down near the 42. Trevor Slider, the nose guard, got down the field among others to make the stop. But again, another Holman Kitchen Supply first down. And Lucas, whether it's Finley, Finello, Barrett, I don't have stats in front of me, but it's got to be north of 5 yards per play for Lucas right now.
But yeah, absolutely. And, defensive ends for Malvern are kind of coming up field. You can tell they're trying to funnel everything inside. And I think a nice adjustment at this point would just be spill the ball, change the direction of the ball for them.
All right, Lucas 1st and 10 at the Malvern 42. They pitch it this time to Finello, runs into the back of the quarterback, and then on the tackle was the middle linebacker Bryson White, and right there he just ran into Finello, who was trying to block White and kind of created really an extra defender.
It looked like he walked up kind of on the line of scrimmage here and is playing a little tighter. They've moved him over to this defensive end on our side and got him out of the middle of the field.
It's just a 1-yard gain for Lucas. 2nd down 9 at the Malvern 41-yard line. 7-0 Lucas, 1:19 left here in the opening quarter. They'll hand it right up the middle, and Lucas will bully their way inside the 35, down near the 33. I say bully because Zane Finley taking people for a ride up the middle.
Yeah, I don't know if they're trying to run some sort of twist game on the D-line. Looked like their nose guard lined up a little bit farther downfield than everybody else and kind of stood up like he was going to run some kind of twist in there, but just not enough time when the wedge is coming at you.
All right, we're going to have a momentary stoppage in play. We'll remind you after the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors game changer, whose hustle and whose effort tonight changes tonight's game for the Lucas Cubs. That'll be coming up in the post game, again, courtesy of the good people who love their high school sports at Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street in Ontario, online at drivespitzer.com. We've talked about it. Brand new Kia Forte, just $99 a month. That's a $3 a day lease. And remember, when you buy a brand new car at Spitzer's, free car washes for life. You never wash it again. You bring it in, hand them the keys, they wash it as long as you own the car. Chris Miller smiling about that last week. All right, Lucas, this time on third and about a yard, will be the quarterback, Smolin. He'll keep it up the middle inside the 30 and tackled at the 29. That's another first down, and that's the fourth Cub to carry the football here in the opening quarter.
It's a nice little change up to that little buck sweep toss play where, you know, he kind of reverses out and pitches it, and then he keeps it, and kind of like a spinner series where he just puts his foot in the ground and then follows that first blocker up, almost like an inside trap.
30 seconds to play, opening quarter, 7-0 Lucas, 1st and 10 at the Malvern 29-yard line. They'll pitch it, coming to the right side of the field. It's Barrett, got nearly taken down, spun out of that tackle for a moment, and then will work his way down near the 27. Good job that time by Trevor Slider. Again, that was the nose guard running down the line of scrimmage to help be involved in the tackle. Just a couple for Lucas, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. After one, Lucas 7, Malvern nothing. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to High School Playoff Football on WMAN.
The score, your Lucas Cubs 7.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Back in Lucas Bobwine Field, already one quarter in the books. It is 7-0 Lucas, and the Cubbies marching their way toward the end zone again. WMAN hooking up with our friends at the OH Report. Glad to have you tonight. Saturday night playoff football, regional quarterfinal. The Cubs, 2nd down and 6 yards to go from the 26-yard line. The quarterback, Smolin's going to keep it this time, going to work his way inside the 20 and down near the 19. Is that enough for a first down? Yes, it is, as they move the chains again. And I'll tell you what, I know we're just early in the second quarter, but Lucas has done whatever they wanted tonight on the ground so far.
A lot of success doing what they do, just kind of pounding the ball, and there again, another quarterback kind of keeping the ball up inside. People flow up over top on that that pitch fake, and he puts his foot in the ground and is a very serviceable runner for Lucas.
He can throw the ball too, but right now no one's thinking about throwing the ball as they've ran it so well. But hang on, we do have movement on Lucas. It'll be the first penalty of the ball game, and that'll back them up 5 yards. They were just inside the red zone. Now it'll back them up 5 yards back near the 25-yard line. So the Cubs with a 1st and 15. Their only snafu so far, right? It's been real good so far.
Lucas is not typically a very penalized team.
No.
I don't know what those stats look like, for them for the year, but that's a rare occurrence there to see the laundry come out on and them to commit a penalty.
Yeah, they're in rhythm nearly every single play. This time they'll hand the football off. It's Grant Barrett working his way, and he'll say, guys, I got you. He picks up those 5 yards and more. Inside the 20, he'll get down inside the 15 near the 14-yard line. Some hard running up the middle there for Grant Barrett.
They're starting to smell the end zone in here. Getting close to the 10-yard line. I think what's the ball on the 14. You can just tell Barrett puts his hand on the back and chopping his feet, and they're starting to smell it.
10:47 to play until halftime. 7-0 Lucas. 2nd down 5. They're at the Malvern 14-yard line. The Cubs in no hurry, using clock and just working their way up and down Bob Wine Field. Snap this time, Finello in motion. He'll get the handoff, tries to get it up the middle. Good job by Malvern as they had a couple of guys close in. The first guy was Caden Grinder, the senior outside linebacker, number 30, closed quickly on that.
They just kind of slanted inside. It looks like they've made that little adjustment here this second drive, and to try to kind of slide inside or spill the ball and make them bounce the ball outside.
So he gets 2 on that carry down near the 11. 3rd and 3 for Lucas. 10 minutes to play until halftime. Cubs lead 7-0. Again at the Malvern 11. They'll pitch it to Finello. No, hang on. Barrett's got it now. Up the middle. Barrett inside the 5, down near the 4. That was nearly some trickery right there. Thought Finello had it for a moment going in motion. It was Grant Barrett. He will get the Home and Kitchen Supply first down near the 4.
Counterplay, motion left, kind of came back underneath, took an underneath handoff. It's tricky for those guys on the defensive end to kind of stay disciplined with their eyeballs and follow their keys, especially when they're pounding the ball on you like this.
Tricky for the broadcasters, see who's got the ball, huh?
Right, if you trick
First
us.
and goal for Lucas. Again, the ball is just inside the 5-yard line. Malvern's going to burn a timeout. We're going to keep it right here because the last timeout was a good 35 seconds. We don't want to miss a Cubby touchdown, so we'll keep it right here. After the game, we'll select who made a heck of a play. Seen a lot of those already from the Cub offense and the defense, forcing a 3-and-out. And again, that is courtesy of the Heck Law Offices. Jeff Heck and Jeff Stifler, they're here to help at HeckLawOffices.com. We'll hand out some free pizza. Medium 2-topping pizza from Giannino's. The warmth of a Giannino's pizza right now would be ideal, would it not? We do have some fries they brought us here. And Jory, those are getting cold. Camden, our operator, I don't think he can have fries and operate the camera.
The fries
It's probably a protocol.
Fantastic
Yeah.
when they came up here, though.
Yeah,
Looks like a basket of fair fries.
Yeah, popcorn, hot dogs, other things. A lot of good. Those are wrapped in foil. Those ought to stay warm till halftime, Chris. So stay tuned for that. As Lucas, again, if you're just joining us, it's 7-0 Lucas. Does it not feel that it's more than 7-0 Lucas?
Well, they've controlled the first half. I mean, Malvern's had the ball one time and ran 3 snaps. And I would ordinarily say ball's inside the 3, you get into your goal line set defensively. But, geez, when you play Lucas, you've kind of got it. You're in that mode all the time.
Yeah, put him at about the 3-yard line and a nice I formation right behind the quarterback. They'll hand it off, and guess who's got it? Zane Finley into the end zone. 3-yard touchdown run. You are not stopping that dude tonight. Nobody has. Touchdown Cubs. They lead by 2 scores.
I mean, once again, the whole pile moves into the end zone. Nobody's on the ground. Everybody's still standing upright, moving their feet, pushing bodies, clear into the end zone, allowing that ball carrier to cross really without, it's a good hard run, but he really wasn't contested. Just kind of gets inside behind those big guys up front, and they're just winning the line of scrimmage. Every single play, it looks like, Malvern's helmets are kind of popping up. They're playing tall, and it goes back to that, you don't really know it until you see it, and they're seeing it right now in heavy doses.
All right, we'll keep it right here as the Cubs score point after up and good by Aiden Culler, and it's now 14-0 Lucas, 9:24 to play until halftime. And again, we don't have stats in front of us, but you'd have to feel the Cubs have ran a good 20 to 25 plays to like 3. No, we know for sure 3 for Malvern. the Cub defense has been out there for 3 plays. The Malvern offense has basically saw the Cubs just slowly march it right down the field, kind of push them back. That's demoralizing for a defense.
It's tough. I mean, you know, it's one of those just constant 3-yard gains, 4-yard gains. You're just playing your tail off to just get a stop. And you know, they don't make many mistakes. You don't see a whole lot of holding calls on Lucas. Yeah, I had 1 penalty. I don't remember seeing an offensive penalty a week ago. There may have been, but they just don't hurt themselves and they keep moving forward. And if you're Malvern, you have an opportunity here to get the ball. You know, run your 4th snap of the game. You're going to have to move it and keep them off the field because they've not shown the ability, Malvern hasn't, to get Lucas stopped so far in this football game. So now your answer is a good drive offensively, get good field position on this kick return, and kind of put the pieces back together.
Coach Scott Spittler, by the way, in shorts tonight.
Lucas might have a couple of guys in shorts.
I know the camera guy's a Cub graduate, former player. He's in shorts. As the kickoff is going to be fielded by KJ Thomas across the 15-20, and they'll tackle him near the 23-yard line. Tried to get it toward the middle. One of the Cubs missed him on the way by, but then others came in for the stop. As Lucas had several guys down there on special teams. And again, if you're just joining us, 14-0 Lucas on 2 touchdown runs where they just marched it up and down the field. It had to be 10, 12 play drives. Malvern has had 1 possession. It was a 3 and out. And so I don't want to say they need to score, but they need to score. I mean, this is big. You don't want to go down 3 scores to this team.
Yeah, I think right now you're just thinking about 10 yards. Let's get a first down.
All right, so Malvern's going to pitch the football to the right side. That's KJ Thomas trying to get the corner, and the Cubs will ride him out of bounds. Good job defensively by Lucas on the far side of the field. As they had multiple guys over there on the far side, he just tried to get back to the line of scrimmage. Braden Spittler, among others, were chasing him down. Grant Barrett was over there, and they're actually going to say no gain right at the 23-yard line. Good job by the Cubs running down that line of scrimmage.
Outside backer did a nice job maintaining leverage on the guy stalk blocking him. Kind of kept his outside arm free. Didn't over pursue in the backfield, but just kind of strung it out clear until the ball carrier ran out of room.
Lucas, again tonight, leading 14-0. Clock with 9:07 to play until halftime. Malvern 2nd and 10 from their own 23. The quarterback is going to roll. He's going to throw it. Got a receiver out there, and he caught it across the 35, and it'll be tackled into the sideline. It was thrown to Dylan Phillips. The tackle that time was Hunter Church for Lucas, the defensive back, but it will be the first down of the ball game on just the 5th play of the night for Malvern, and that's a big one to the 37. Seeing them move the change and move the ball in this Lucas defense, I know that's a positive for them.
Yeah, they needed that. They needed a little confidence, a completion. It was a well-thrown ball. It's a corner route, kind of dropped it in over his shoulder, and good catch and first down.
The quarterback, Tristan Phillips, has 14 touchdowns on the year. Passing handoff again, it'll go to KJ Thomas. He tries to get his way in the middle of that Cub defense, and Lucas was right there. Getting up off the bottom of the pile, J.D. Cox. Also, I saw Noah Langston in there as well, along with Hunter Rice, but J.D. Cox was right there in the middle. I know he was our Gander Door Defensive Player of the game last week, and I know you're real impressed with that Lucas D-line.
It's tough sledding in there, and I think it's going to be again tonight for Malvern. But, you know, they ran a little isolation play. The H-back was kind of attached to the line of scrimmage and folded it up underneath and just try to get a little isolation and movement straight forward.
3 on that, so 2nd down and 7 from their own 40. The quarterback, Phillips, going to roll to the right, going to throw it. Got a receiver, and hang on, a penalty comes out late. I don't think he caught that ball into the sideline. It was incomplete. There was a penalty from the sideline here. We'll have to sort that out as the quarterback, Phillips, threw it to the right.
Have linemen downfield.
Okay.
Looked like 76 maybe for Malvern. One of those linemen just kind of leaked downfield a little bit. It's tough as the play continues to evolve. When your quarterback leaves the pocket, you know, those guys staying disciplined at the line of scrimmage. At times they'll be blocking a guy and kind of forget where they're at in space and move downfield. And it looks like that's what happened.
They were going for Johnny Walker on that play, the senior wide receiver, number 88, into the sideline. They're not able to bring it in, but as Chris mentioned, the penalty on Malvern will back them up now. So 2nd down and about 13 yards to go. The ball back at their own 35-yard line. Back to pass with 7:49 to play until halftime. The receiver slips, and the far side of the field going to make the catch. It's incomplete. It's Dylan Phillips. They're on the far side of the field. The pass was there, but he slipped and then nearly caught it when he tried to get up.
Yeah, he almost made a great catch from his knee. With that incompletion, it brings up 3rd and 12. I know most offensive coordinators don't really particularly like this set of downs. It would have been nice for them to have a 3rd and more manageable, 5, 6, or 7. Had they completed that ball, but let's see what they dial up. They've shown the ability to put it in the air here early, and maybe they'll get something.
3rd and 12 from their own 35-yard line. Back to pass Phillips. He'll throw it out quickly. Got a receiver to the sideline, and Johnny Walker could not bring it in. It's incomplete off his left hand, and it was Andrew Finello in coverage right behind him, but he had him there. Just able to only reach out to get the left hand on the ball and couldn't get them both to bring it in.
And he had a guy barreling down on him too in the pocket and had to get the ball out fairly quick or take a sack.
So we saw Malvern pick up a first down, but that Lucas defense able to get another stop. So 4th and 12 Malvern. The ball at their own 35-yard line. 7:41 to play until halftime. Lucas 14 and Malvern nothing. Back to punt. It's Noah Ball. He'll get it away. It'll sail inside the Lucas 40, hit at the 37. Noah Langston's going to let it roll inside the 30. It'll be touched up just inside the 26-yard line. Getting down there was Trevor Slider for Malvern. And we will have Lucas with, weird to say, their 3rd possession of the night. It just feels like they've had more because they've had 2 really long, probably 12 or more play drives. It's 14-0 Lucas with 7:31 to go. Until halftime, we just named a new iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week. It's presented by the Neocady Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk, and it's Grant Baird of Lucas. I delivered the plaque when I got here tonight. 4 touchdowns a week ago. And
well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely.
More
than 1,100 yards rushing in 10 games for the senior. All right, they'll hand it off Lucas from their own. We'll call it the 27. It's Zane Finley across the 30 and near the 35-yard line. So Zane Finley's average is north of about 7 yards per carry. He'll bring up 2nd down and probably a short 2, maybe or long 2 or 3 here for Lucas. And tell you what, you have to be impressed. And if you're Malvern, Chris, I know we're approaching halftime, but are there adjustments you can make to this? This seems like Lucas is just pushing them down the field.
No, I think you remind your guys that pad level matters in there, and that if you're not able to hit guys up, then you need to start cutting and kind of taking running lanes away.
They'll pitch the ball this time to Noah Langston. He'll get a home and catch and supply first down across the 40 and out near the 43. So Noah Langston gets close to 8 yards, and the Cubs move the chains, and that's now the 5th guy who's ran the ball for Lucas and ran the ball well as the Cubs move the chains. Again, just over 6.5 to play until halftime. 14-0 Lucas, and it's funny, if you have never seen Lucas, this is how you describe. They wear you down. They control the clock. They score. They shorten the game. They shorten your possessions. It's tough to beat this team when they're playing like this.
Yeah, you've got to get him stopped. There he cuts all the way back. I don't know if that's something that was designed. We'll see here on the replay, or if he didn't like it on the play side.
They pitched that ball to Finello, as you mentioned, and tried to cut it to the inside and then back to the outside. Finello's going to work his way near midfield. So he'll pick up a good close to 7 yards on that play.
Yeah, it almost looked like that was the design of the play rather than an ad lib, because you had Finley out here kind of blocking out, he put his foot in the ground and kind of followed that back over here to this side. So that was an interesting little wrinkle that we didn't see last week.
2nd and 3, Lucas from midfield. They'll pitch it again this time. Noah Langston up the middle. Good block, big hole inside the 40 as he's in Malvern territory down near the 35-yard line as Malvern had the defensive back. Noah Ball involved in the tackle. They're actually going to put him right on the 35. So another first down. And tell you what, the thing about Langston, he may not have the brute strength of a Finley or somebody like that, but that dude's got some speed.
Yeah, he hit the hole quickly, put his foot in the ground, got north. I just love how these Lucas backs double wrap the football, when they're in traffic, and they just keep those legs churning. We got a good look at Finley running that wedge, from the treehouse over here. Just how they keep their legs churning, moving forward. Here we're going to get another look. He just keeps his legs moving.
Speaking of churning the legs, they hand it off from the 35-yard line. Eric Will calls him the bowling ball, Zane Finley, and he will bully his way down near the 31-yard line. Boy, this has been impressive tonight for the Lucas line. I know everybody wants to credit as they get about 3 yards on that play down near the 32. Lucas 14, Malvern nothing, 4:47 to play until halftime. Everybody always wants to credit the running backs, and of course you do, but those guys on the line are paving the way.
No, they're moving the line of scrimmage 3-4 yards. I mean, listen, it's not taking anything away from these Lucas backs, but when you don't get touched until after you cross the line of scrimmage 2-3 yards down the field, you're going to have a night. And that's kind of what we're seeing. They're having a night because those guys up front are just moving the pile.
Well, they pitched the ball that time to Finello. Good job by Xavier Watson and Johnny Walker. Both come in to take him down after a very short gain of just a couple down to the 30. The Cubs rarely tonight have been stopped anything under 5 yards on a carry. Good job there, Malvern. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6 here for Lucas. The ball at the Malvern 30-yard line. 4 even to play until halftime. 14-0 Lucas. Cubs at the line. Smullen under center. Got Finley right behind him. They'll pitch it. This time again, Langston going up the middle, running between the tackles, inside the 25, down near the 22. Give him 7. They needed 6, and the Cubs move those chains one more time.
Yeah, we might not see a pass thrown at all tonight from Lucas with this much success on the ground. And you know, I kind of peeked up at the scoreboard when they got the football at 7 minutes left in the half. They may take the rest of this quarter. Malvern may not get the ball back.
Yeah, Cubs 1st and 10 at the Malvern 22-yard line. Everybody packed in tight. They'll pitch it. Finello double handoff. Langston inside the 20, inside the 15. Multiple guys in on the stop for Malvern. Noah Langston, I mentioned, carrying the ball. Caden Grinder, the senior outside linebacker, on the stop at the 15-yard line. So he gets about 6 yards, 4 yards to go here on 2nd down. And I'll tell you what's been impressive is no matter who's carried it, Finley, Barrett, Finello, and now we're seeing the speed and the power of Noah Langston, who is one of their top tacklers on defense.
Yeah, they're going to spread the ball out a little bit, probably see a little more of that as the game evolves. You know, share the wealth, get different guys some touches, and see what they can do. 2nd
down, a long 3 as they go right up the middle in that rugby scrum, and they're going to work their way down near the 10 with Zane Finley carrying the football. It's amazing. The only time Zane Finley gets the ball, you never really see him get it. It just disappears and bodies go flying up the middle. He's down at the 10, and the Cubs have it 1st and goal at the Malvern 10-yard line. 2:37 to play until halftime. 14-0 Lucas, and I'll echo what Chris Miller just said a moment ago. If you're Coach Spittler, you'd love to take another 2 minutes off the clock, punch it in, go up by 3 scores.
Yeah, should be a great little way to end the half and just say, hey, we held the ball for 7.5 minutes to end the 2nd quarter.
1st and goal. They'll hand it off to Zane Finley, and he powers his way down near the 5-yard line, maybe down to the 4. Zane Finley with just pure strength right up the middle behind that O-line. Got the great replay from the OH report. Look at him get the football, and I'll tell you what, there was nobody there for a good yard or two, and he gets a full head of steam. You better watch out.
Yeah, I'm kind of looking over there at the sideline going, I wonder what those guys, how are they going to address this? How are they going to kind of change things up defensively to kind of slow that down?
Lucas 2nd and goal from the Malvern 4. They'll pitch the football. Noah Langston, and Noah Langston's going to find the end zone. The blockers opened it up. He marches in from 4 yards out, and the Cubs have scored 3 times on the ground. They lead by 3 scores, and they have owned this first half.
3 for 3 on possessions, with Malvern touching the ball twice. Maybe, how many snaps did they run under center? Malvern, the last drive, did they have 5 snaps? So we're looking at under 10.
Yeah,
snaps
I would agree with that. Yeah, they definitely are under 10. 4-yard touchdown run, as we mentioned, by Langston. And Aiden Cullers point after on the way. It is good. We'll step aside. 1:42 to play until halftime. Lucas 21, Malvern nothing. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas, proudly supporting Cubs playoff football.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
It's rocking in Cub Country tonight. 21-0 Lucas. 3 possessions, 3 long touchdown drives, and the Cubs lead 21-0 over Malvern. 1:42 to go until halftime, and we always talk about they play some of the greatest music here at Bob Wine Field. Some AC/DC as the Cubs up 3 scores. Kickoff to Malvern. Good return across the 25 and a little bit across the 30 near the 32. So Malvern has had a couple decent kickoff returns here in the football game. KJ Thomas has been very good on those returns. The problem has been Malvern's ran 8 or so plays, and the Lucas defense is super fresh. They've barely been out there tonight because their offense has been on the field the whole night. So if you're Malvern right here, you'd love to somehow, some way, put something together, get a score. You would feel like a huge win in the locker room if you could get something on the board.
Yeah, I mean, out of those 8 to 10 plays too, Aaron, a lot of them have been through the air with where the clock stops. I'd love to see the time of possession right now.
Well, you're right. They're going to throw it here. The quarterback, Tristan Phillips, rolls to the right, tries to find his stud wide receiver. That's Noah Ball. He got into Lucas territory at around the 45, but overthrew him, incomplete. And the clock will stop with 1:28 to play until halftime. 21-0 is the Lucas lead. And after the game, we mentioned this earlier, we will select the Gandert Door Defensive Player of the Game. Gandert Door serving the area with all your residential and commercial garage door needs. They're always in your neighborhood. Visit GandertDoor.com. 2nd and 10, Malvern, their own 32-yard line. Under 90 seconds to play until halftime. Quick pass right side, got Johnny Walker across the 35-40. Goes to the sideline and is shoved out of bounds.
Pass is complete to Johnny Walker.
Good job right there, getting some yardage, and near a first down. He got about 9 and got out of bounds.
Yeah, they brought some pressure, Lucas did, off that edge. They brought 2 backers on a blitz, pressure off that edge, and then that little flat route just kind of replaced the flat defender in space, and good catch, get upfield, and got out of bounds and stopped the clock for him.
That was Hunter Church, the guy for Lucas, defensive back, that shoved him out of bounds. So it'll be 3rd down and a yard to go for Malvern. The ball resting at the 41-yard line, their own 41. 21-0 Lucas is the lead. Malvern with 4 wide receivers, 3 to the left. They'll turn, throw it right, got it, first down. They get it to KJ Thomas across the 45 and out near the 47. So they get about 7 yards, and that is a big first down, just the 2nd first down of the first half for Malvern. 1:14 to play until halftime.
He had an opportunity to get out of bounds there and stop the clock. He chose to stay in bounds and maybe make a play. Of course, they haven't started the clock yet either.
That's a good point. I didn't know what he called a timeout. As they'll take advantage, throw it to the near side of the field. Caught there by Johnny Walker. He will step out of bounds right at midfield. Tristan Phillips gets that football out quickly. You don't really see him extend his arm when he throws the ball. He just kind of gets it out.
Kind of short arm that one. Of course, he's rolling out to the left, which is a tough thing for right-handed quarterbacks to do. You got to get your hips and body kind of turned and just follow the football as you throw.
Pretty accurate, though. He's able to throw the football. So here we go. 2nd and 7, Malvern, midfield. 1:08 to go until halftime. 21-0 Lucas. Phillips back to pass. Right side, there's Walker again. Got it at midfield. Lucas 45-yard line. Runs a man over on the sideline down near the 43. Good running by Walker. He had Corbin Toms over there defensively, among others. Into the sideline. He'll go out of bounds, and they'll put him at the Lucas 43.
That was a good, hard finish to that play. Just kind of put his shoulder down and
Yeah, watch the replay. He did a really good job of
just-
kind of lowering the boom a little bit there.
Yeah, he kept his feet moving.
Yeah.
Took secondary contact there, and then managed to get out of bounds.
I don't know, are they wondering, did he get out of bounds or did he get the first down? The official on the far side said he stayed in bounds. I saw the signal, but are they wondering, did he get enough for a first down? I think they may measure on the far side of the field. I'm looking at our great camera work here, and the official, of course, now is blocking the great camera work, but that's okay. Maybe he'll move in a moment here. But you can tell where that is. Colin Arnold's kind of there. He's in the way a little bit, but you can kind of see the nose of the ball is really close, and they are going to measure there on the sideline.
Yeah, well, it's kind of great for Malvern in this case is you kind of steal a timeout. You've got an opportunity to call.
Good point.
You're thinking about 3rd and short, and you're thinking about 1st and 10.
And it is a first down.
Get that play in now and keep that pace. They've moved the ball a little bit. Keep that up-tempo pace, and maybe they found something a little bit too that's going to work for them, and it's a tempo change. And that's something in the sport of football that sometimes people don't think about. That tempo change puts defenses in a spot. It doesn't allow you to substitute. That gives you a little less time to think. And adjust to things. So maybe we're seeing something. Maybe we're seeing Malvern figure something out here.
That's an interesting point because Malvern had ran prior to this drive. By the way, they just added 6 seconds back on the clock. There's now 54 seconds to play until halftime, and there goes the clock as they'll wind it, and Phillips is going to fire it down the right sideline. Had a man out there was KJ Thomas. Looked over one shoulder, then looked back the other way and could not bring it in. Head around the Lucas 10 into the sideline. Incomplete. Clock stops with 45 seconds to play until halftime, bringing up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, not a bad ball. I think the ball is kind of placed where it needs to be-ish, kind of that back shoulder.
Toward the sideline.
If that defender kind of caps you or stays over top, throw that ball to the back shoulder and let the receiver adjust to it and get out of bounds.
2nd and 10 from the Lucas 43-yard line. Pass to Walker at the Lucas 40. Breaks a tackle momentarily. Breaks another. Got him by the jersey. Finello, he gets loose again. Get a couple more yards down to the Lucas 38-yard line. Terrific play by Johnny Walker. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 5 here for Malvern. They'll burn a timeout. 33 seconds to play until halftime. According to the scoreboard, Malvern has one still, I believe. Nope, that was their last one. That was their last timeout. So no timeouts now for Malvern. 33 seconds to play until halftime. 21-0 is the Lucas lead. And yeah, prior to this drive, Malvern had no success at all. Now able to, Walker involved. We mentioned Thomas. They haven't been able to get the running game going, but this is something maybe they're figuring out here late in the first half, that going to the air is the way they're going to have to attack the Cub defense.
Yeah, and going to the air quickly. It looks like the quarterback's a lot more comfortable kind of throwing to his right. Maybe this is a situation where they kind of sprint him out again, moving to the right. They're going to have to throw something to the sideline without a timeout. But you don't need to get it all here. Grab a completion, get out of bounds, and just keep inching that line of scrimmage closer to the goal line.
I think your key there, get out of bounds because they're out of timeouts. 3rd down and 5, again at the Lucas 38-yard line. Phillips back to pass, steps up in the pocket. There's pressure over the middle and nearly intercepted. Braden Spiller got a hand on it at around the 16-yard line, but there was all kind of Cubs in that traffic jam there. That was thrown into danger.
Looks like they had 2 receivers kind of in the same area there.
Ball and Walker.
Yeah, they both kind of ran an inside release, whether that was a dig route or a post. Dangerous ball over the middle, not to mention the number of defenders that are in there. But also you don't have a timeout, and if you do complete that ball in the 15, you got to really hustle up there to get the next play off.
There were 5 Cubs in the middle. 4th down and 5 now, Malvern at the Lucas 38-yard line. They trail 21-0, 28 seconds to play until halftime. He's going to be sacked. He's going to be sacked by the Lucas Cubs. Terrific play. J.D. Cox came flying in and buries the quarterback back at the 43-yard line, and the Cubs take over on downs, and that defense gets to flex their muscles.
That's a big play. You tell those D linemen to in their pass rush to kind of get to the depth of the quarterback before you come back in. You can see JD he works to about 1 yard, just 1 yard shy where that quarterback is, rips up underneath of that offensive lineman and puts him right in the pocket with the quarterback.
Keyword there, rip, because he was being blocked, and all of a sudden he saw the quarterback step up, and boom, he hit it and sacks the quarterback. So Lucas takes over, 23 seconds to play until halftime. on their own 42-yard line. Handoff Grant Barrett up the middle across the 45, and he'll be rode to the turf at the 48-yard line. So give him about 6 yards. 16 seconds to play until halftime, and Coach Scott Spittler says, hang on, we got time to score. Timeout Lucas. They got all 3. You can't carry those into the second half. So Coach Spittler burns a timeout. We'll keep it right here. You can find all the playoff football scores on the North Central State College High School Football Scoreboard at our website. It's brought to you by North Central State College. NC State can change your life and prepare you to change the world. ncstatecollege.edu. As the winner of this game will move on to the regional semifinal at a neutral site beginning next week, and it'll be either Dalton or Independence. I believe I heard over the PA announcer that Dalton was up 28-7 in that ball game. I'm assuming still in the first half. And I mentioned I haven't seen either team, but I know both are good football programs. And you know, Chris, you go play in the regional semifinals. Lucas knows this very well. You are going to face a really, really good football team, and you expect that this time of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. And so much of football is about matchups too, and how different opponents match up to their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, can you stop what we do? Can you stop what they do? As Lucas, this time they got in the backfield. That's the speedster Corbin Toms, like a bolt of lightning into Malvern territory inside the 40, and he'll step out of bounds around the 36-yard line. As dude, can that dude run?
Yeah, that's the first time we've seen them in the gun tonight.
Yeah.
Obviously, kind of
direct snap, kind of fake the pass, or
they ran a little bubble screen action, kind of a draw play really, and he just kind of tucks it and runs, and I like that call. We might see him in the gun here for the remainder of this drive.
Yeah, he faked it to Finello there and runs out of bounds with 10 seconds to play until halftime.
We might see a pass here.
Yeah, we might. I know. You told me we wouldn't.
Well.
First down and 10, Lucas. And no, they say we will not pass the ball. Corbin Toms will keep it inside the 35, down near the 33. They'll burn a timeout. 5 seconds to play. You got to realize Aiden Culler has a big leg. I mean, he can boot it.
I mean, what would this be, though? The ball's on the 33-yard line, 43, almost 50-yard field goal.
He missed a 52-yarder by a yard in Week 9 against Fort Loramie. I know if this was turf, you might feel a little more better about your footing.
The sod doesn't look too bad out there, but it doesn't appear as if
he's coming out.
There he is.
There he comes, number 18. How would that be to cap it off into the locker room, a 50-yard field goal where you have just dominated the first half?
I'm going to be excited to watch this ball fly because he does have a leg. Every extra point kind of disappears into the night.
Yeah, it does. All right, 5 seconds to play until halftime. Lucas 21, Malvern nothing. The Cubs, the down doesn't matter. It's 2nd down and 6. The ball is at the Malvern 33-yard line. They'll tee it up at the 40. Corbin Toms is your holder, so this will be a 50-yard attempt for Aiden Culler. There's the snap and hang on. Penalty marker flies. We have offsides on Malvern. Guess what? That becomes a 45, and Aiden Culler says, no sweat, man.
Yeah, kick these in pregame.
Oh, man, I'll tell you what. As somebody from Malvern jumped, so this will become a field goal of 45 yards. They'll put it down at the 35-yard line. And, I brought this up to Coach Spittler. I'll bring it up to you. When you have a weapon like this could be big in the playoffs.
Well, absolutely. Well, you're seeing it right here. I mean, they got the ball, on about the 40-yard line, ran a few plays, took some timeouts, were real crafty in how to get the ball down there, knew where they needed to get the ball to give their kicker a chance to poke one in.
This is good practice for late game situations as well. So Aiden Culler has it teed up. 5 seconds to play until halftime, 4.9 to be exact. There's the snap, the hold, the kick is on the way, and that baby is good. Aiden Culler from 45 yards out. The clock hits triple zeros, and the Cubs steamroll into the locker room. There's the whistle, 24-0 Lucas, as they have flat out dominated the first 2 quarters. How about your special teams? In a matter of seconds, what they have around 23 seconds, they get in place, they kick a field goal. That makes this team even more dangerous, does it not?
Oh man, they ran a little, that little buck sweep to start the drive. Had a nice pickup on that. We saw a draw play, another nice pickup where, quarterback kind of takes off running and gets out of bounds, and then ran it to the left then to kind of center up on the goalpost, and then that offsides was huge because it certainly made it within range to poke 3 in there before half. That's huge momentum to go in like that. You saw how excited were those guys, after that field goal went in, and they're feeling good about themselves.
Hey, real quick, we're going to go to the break at halftime here. How cool is it in high school football to see a kid kick a 45, 50-yarder? I love it.
That was really exciting. I like I said, I was looking forward to that ball flying. That ball travels a long way in the air, and unless you're here, if you watch college football, sometimes you don't understand how far that ball travels, and that was just an impressive kick.
By the way, Aiden Culler, absolutely terrific. Just a sophomore, if you're curious. Aiden Culler got quite the leg, and the Cubs got quite the lead at halftime. We'll step aside. WMAN and the OH Report bringing you Saturday night high school playoff football. And again, it is the regional quarterfinal at halftime. It's Lucas 24, Malvern nothing. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs playoff football.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Goodness, what a catch!
Welcome back to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas, where it is halftime and it is all Cubs. 24-0 Lucas over Malvern. This is the Division 7 regional quarterfinal as Lucas, the top seed, Malvern the 8, and the Cubs enter tonight's game 9-1, Malvern 9-2. WMAN, Aaron Hines, Chris Miller, Ontario coach, with us in the treehouse. Second coat, gloves has been added, and everything good here in Cub Country as Lucas rolling to a 24-0 lead, hooking up with our friends at the OH.REPORT tonight. Glad to have them here with us and you joining us on this Saturday evening. And let's recap the first half for you. And I mentioned it's been all Cubs. Literally, they've controlled this game. Line of scrimmage, they've marched it up and down the field. 3 touchdowns, 1 long field goal to tell you about. Lucas got on the board at the 7:03 mark of the opening quarter on a 6-yard touchdown run by junior Andrew Finello. Point after was good by Aiden Culler, made it 7-0. And that's how we wrapped up the opening quarter. Lucas with 3 touchdown drives, and they chewed all kinds of clock. In the second quarter, Lucas at the 9:24 mark, it was a 3-yard touchdown run by the guy that provides the power from the fullback spot, Zane Finley. He goes in from 3 yards out. Point after good, Aiden Culler made it 14-0 Lucas. At the 1:42 mark, Lucas got a 40-yard touchdown run from Noah Langston as the speedster bolted his way into the end zone. Point after good by Aiden Culler made it 21-0. Then Malvern tried to quickly get it down the field. They got it a ways down the field. They got inside the Lucas 40-yard line, but the Cub defense able to stiff it. A big sack by J.D. Cox. Lucas had just 23 seconds. However, they had all 3 timeouts, and then you saw Lucas, and they didn't even have to throw it. We thought they would. They didn't. They ran the ball, used their timeouts. They got a very key offsides penalty with 5 seconds to play. It put Aiden Culler in position for a 45-yard field goal, and the sophomore booted it through as the clock expired, bringing us to our halftime lead of Lucas 24 and Malvern nothing. Ontario coach Chris Miller is in the booth with us tonight, and I know you are all kind of impressed how Lucas just dominates, controls the line of scrimmage, punches it into the end zone. Does 24-0 more feel like 40-0 the way they just keep the ball and the way they march it down the field?
I mean, they haven't been stopped. They're 4 for 4 on possessions and scoring. If you count that, obviously count that last field goal.
That's 2-minute offense there, right?
The Lucas 2-minute offense consists of 4 runs, a timeout, and a field goal. Just crafty play calling there to end the half in terms of, awareness on the field and where they need to get to the football and to the sideline, and did a nice job and utilizing those timeouts. But I think the difference in the game is obviously in the trenches, and if you're Malvern, you've got to continue to play low or play lower in the second half yet, in the trenches and try to scrape the line of scrimmage. I know it sounded like a broken record, but it just is. That's what you need to do in order to slow them down and maybe a little penetration, maybe changing some things up where you're pinching off the edge, where those outside linebackers are maybe coming inside to kind of force the ball out and maybe keep them guessing. But you say that, and Lucas is so good. And when you talk offensive football and kind of wing tee, double wing concepts, O-line coaches talk about running tracks. You're starting here in this position, and your landmark is that linebacker, and you run that line and just kind of clean up anything that's on the tracks on your way. And it's oftentimes how they install blocking schemes, and Lucas just does a great job of running tracks and just kind of hitting whoever's in front of them. And sometimes it's a linebacker. So when you play those twist games and blitzes, and you try to get crazy and creative to stop them, it doesn't really matter. They don't care who's in front of them. They're just going to block whoever's in front of them. They pick them up. You can twist and change and do all those things you want to, but they're well coached, and so it kind of boils down to how low can you play in the trenches, and you don't need to be fancy. Just get your hands on them.
I really liked how you explained on the tracks, because the Cubs are like a train. They're just coming at you, and they march their way up and down the field. 3 touchdowns in the first half from 3 different guys. We saw Finello, we saw Finley, Langston, and then a 45-yard field goal from Aiden Culler. 24-0 Lucas, about ready for start of the third quarter as we check the North Central State College scoreboard at our website. And let me give it a refresh in case somebody scored. The last update we have, and we can tell you that at halftime, Crestview is leading Colonel Crawford 21-7, and that is a Crestview team that's 11-0, and a good Colonel Crawford team that's 10-1 that put up all kind of points this season. They hung 70 on somebody. They scored 60 once. I know that Crestview defense is really good, but so is that offense. They're a balanced team. They play in a good conference, and boy, you have them and Lucas right now really playing some good football.
A tremendous amount of respect for both of those programs, Crawford and Crestview. But just from a coaching standpoint, they're just extremely well coached by great people, and that's translated into success over the years for both of those schools.
Any other scores we can share with you? I know of interest in the area. Trimble leading East Knox. There's been 7 touchdowns in that first half. It's Trimble 28, East Knox 21. Northmore losing in the second quarter to West Jefferson 49-6. Those are a few of the other games. Also, Hillsdale in action here in the second round. They are trailing at Mogador at halftime, 27-7. By the way, Lucas beat Mogador 14-0 in Week 10 at Mogador. What's that tell you about the Cubs? Mogador is a program everybody knows around the state. They've been really good.
Yeah, it's a good football program. I mean, it's just kind of one of those things. Division II, Lakewood earlier this year
came down here.
Came here. I bet I would have loved to just been here when their bus pulled in. To just kind of see those kids. Lakewood is a big town. I mean, it's a suburb of Cleveland, and that's where St. Ed's is, and there's some, it's definitely looks different driving through Lakewood than it does driving through Lucas. So I'd have been like to see those guys get off the bus that day.
You know what's really interesting with Lucas is the fact we're about ready for the third quarter that they'll go play anybody, anywhere, and that's kind of what Coach Spittler has built here. They're not afraid. I think, and I'm sure you as a coach, you tell your kids, don't be afraid to fail. You don't want to go out and try not to lose. I mean, you hear people talk about that, but Lucas, going to beat a Division II, they did that a few years ago. I think it was St. Charles and Columbus. Those are big statements to a lot of people when a Division VII goes beats a Division II.
Yeah, you kind of try to instill like the respect all, fear none kind of concept, and obviously Coach Spittler's done a great job with that here.
All right, it is high school football. It is Saturday night. We are powered by Stone Ridge and Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. Lucas 24, Malvern nothing. It is halftime, but halftime is just about done. We are ready for third quarter action. Aiden Culler warming up that right leg at the 40-yard line. He drilled a 45-yarder into halftime, and Malvern will start the third quarter with the football. I think it's pretty easy to say they found some success throwing the ball. I would assume they know if they want to have any chance of winning this game, they need to score to start this third quarter. They got to get it back on their side because they're not going to get many possessions here in the second half.
Yeah, they may get the ball 3 times in the second half for a total of 6 possessions today.
We'll talk about that a little bit more as we go throughout the course of the evening. Kickoff is going to be fielded, and that's KJ Thomas, and he is swallowed up as the Cubs fly down the field. One of the first guys down there was Braden Jackson, and they will tackle him at the 5-yard line. How about that special teams coverage?
He fielded the ball inside the 5-yard line. It was a great kick. It looked like they had some kind of maybe middle return set up, and he was trying to get back to the middle of the field, and Lucas just ran through the coverage.
Cubs flew down the field, and so Malvern needs to go 95 yards on their first drive here of the second half. 11:52 to play, third quarter, 24-0. Lucas winner will take on Dalton or Independence next Saturday night at a neutral site. And Malvern, as we mentioned, had some success late in that second quarter throwing the football. Quarterback is going to actually hand the football off, and there is just nowhere to go as Lucas came knifing in to drop him. And the guy that flew in there, I believe it was Noah Langston. Yes, it was. Noah Langston went knifing in and drops Thomas back inside the 5. They're going to spot him Right around the 1?
Yeah, he was lucky.
Man.
He was lucky to get out of the end zone.
Wow.
They ran counter. Obviously their heels are on the goal line. Counter takes a little bit of time to develop in the back on the back end. Just giving enough time for Lucas to get in there and make a tackle for loss.
Noah Langston's played very well on both sides tonight for Lucas. 4-yard loss, 2nd and 14 from their own 1 for Malvern. They'll hand the football off. The back will struggle forward. He'll get a short gain. In on the stop was Braden Jackson for the Lucas Cubs, trying to run right, but the Cubs were right there. Also had another guy in there, one of the linemen, able to get a hand on him. Very, very short gain, if nothing at all, so we're going to call it no gain. 3rd and 14 from the 1. Not what you wanted down 3 scores.
No, that was J.D. Cox over there taking on a block.
What he does, right?
That's what he does. He gets his hands in, kind of bench presses that guy off, and then stymies the running back coming out of the backfield.
J.D. Cox had a big sack in the first half. 3rd down and 14 from the 1. Quick pass, going to go to the left over there, going to get it the ball. Ball's going to be tackled as Aiden Culler came up to make the stop at around the 9, close to the 10. Aiden Culler, the kicker, also plays defensive back, able to ride him to the turf. He tried to stretch out to the 10-yard line, but it didn't matter. He still needed a few more yards for the first down, so it'll be 4th down and about 5 for Malvern. The ball is at their own 10-yard line, so Noah Ball makes the catch. Now he's going to punt from his own end zone.
Yeah, they kind of got a different type of punt formation here. They put twins into the boundary on a punt formation. I'd be curious to see if they're punting this way.
There's the snap, nearly got blocked. Ball will punt it up into the air. It'll hit at the 32-yard line and then roll across the 40, across the 45, and they'll touch it at the 46-yard line is where Will Steinberg puts his hand on it. So they don't get it into Lucas territory, but they do get it out of the shadow of their own end zone. So the Cubs leading by 3 scores, 24-0. Have their first possession here in the 3rd quarter. 9:35 to play, 3rd quarter, and going to have the Cubs out on offense.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, did somebody touch it before?
The ball must have touched somebody 10 yards ago.
I was going to say it rolled across the 45-yard line, but they will say that somebody touched it at the 35. That's 11 yards right there.
I
Yikes.
saw the orange beanie come flying in right at the end
You're
of that
right.
punt.
You're right. Okay, so somebody touched it. So that's a big break for Lucas. They'll start at the Malvern 35-yard line. Handoff right up the middle. Zane Finley dragging bodies down to the 30. Zane Finley with 5 yards, and he has just been a workhorse in the middle.
You know, as that play kind of evolves, those defensive linemen outside of the guards are hitting up on those offensive linemen and almost taking themselves out of position to make a tackle. You see them run right by, almost unblocked, and then Finley just gets in there and churns his feet.
Well, Zane Finley is just a key right now. I'll tell you what, I know they call it a Scooby snack. He used to get the odd carry. He's kind of becoming the featured back tonight, is he not?
It's a main course tonight.
Yeah, it is.
Just dessert for dinner.
Can you eat Scooby snacks? Can that be the main course? All right, handoff. Going to be Grant Barrett this time as the Cubs driving the pile inside the 30. Penalty marker comes out. He gets down near the 24. Multiple guys in on the stop from Malvern. Sam Foster, the senior defensive end, on the stop from Malvern. Forward progress down to the 24, and it's real close to a first down. The penalty came out kind of as they were trying to stop his forward progress.
I think we might get to hear the backup beeping here.
Okay. As we're waiting on the official to come over and give us the actual call. Penalty came out, and tell you what, it will be a personal foul.
Just a frustration foul, defensively.
Was it kind of late then?
Looked like
okay.
like away from the play. Kids kind of being frustrated with different components of the game and maybe retaliated, and it's unfortunate.
All right, so it is a personal foul on Malvern to move the ball down to the Malvern 12-yard line. 1st and 10 for Lucas. They'll pitch the football coming to the near side. Turning the corner, Grant Barrett. He'll get inside the 5 and bumped out of bounds. Kind of nearly disappeared out of my view. Let's see where we're going to spot him. Looks like he's down around at least the 4 for Lucas as Grant Barrett kind of worked his way to the near side. Got a good block there from Zane Finley.
Yeah, he's got the cavalry out in front of him.
And the quarterback, too.
And the quarterback.
Yeah. That's what you love about Lucas, right? Quarterback blocks.
And just turns around and gets up through the hole.
All right, so it will be 2nd down and 2. Lucas has the ball at the Malvern 4-yard line. 3 backs right behind the quarterback Smullen. Finley, Finello, and Barrett. And they'll hand it off to Grant Barrett. Grant Barrett bounces off one guy, works his way near the goal line, stretches out, and Grant Barrett is in. Touchdown, Lucas Cubs. It wasn't there initially, kept driving the legs, just bounced it to the right, and Grant Barrett scores for the first time tonight.
Yeah, so they lined up in a different formation than what we've seen the rest of the tonight with a Maryland eye or a kind of that stick eye. 3 backs lined up right in a row behind the quarterback and sent 2 one direction and looked like man on blocking, isolation. What a hard run, to get hit in the backfield and keep moving forward and score. That way, he just willed that one in.
Yeah, Grant Barrett did a great job. Aiden Culler on for the point after, and that one's going to be blocked. Knifing in was Trevor Slider, the nose guard. The senior came in, got one paw on it, and blocked it. The only thing that hasn't went the Cubs' way tonight. We'll step aside. 7:52 to play. 3rd quarter, all Lucas. Lucas 30, Malvern nothing. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs playoff football.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Lucas 30, Malvern nothing. 7:48 to play here in the 3rd quarter, and with that touchdown, Lucas, now a running clock in the football game. It's going to hit on the kickoff. It hits the receiver, the return man. He tries to pick the football up. It rolls into the end zone, and we're going to have a touchback. Lucas was flying down the field. The return man, I don't know if it hit him in the helmet. We got the replay in the booth here.
I think it hit his hand.
It hit his hands. He went up to field it, and it rolled back. It looked like it was going to maybe not go into the end zone, and it just got into the end zone. The return man was Xavier Watson. That could have been all kinds of disaster.
Yeah, and then he kind of ran after it in the end zone, and then just let it sit there. Lucas jumped on it, thinking maybe they stole one, but they're going to count it a touchback and bring it out to the 25-yard line, 20-yard line?
Yeah, put it on the 20 on the touchback for the Lucas Cubs as they kick it off. It will be Malvern football as Lucas tried to steal one there, as you mentioned, get down the field. So Malvern, who really has not been able to get anything going here tonight. They had one drive late in the first half throwing the football, but this game has been owned by the Cubs, the O-line, the D-line. They really have played well. And a week ago, I don't want to say they struggled, but Mapleton played very well on that line, and we're giving them some issues. The Cubs tonight have been dialed in, locked in from the word go.
That's right. Malvern's probably going to have to go back to the air here. They ran the ball 3 times last possession and lost 5 yards.
And somebody moved for Malvern because penalties fly left and right. Only one penalty, but everybody saw it, so it'll be a 5-yard backup. And for Malvern, down 30-0. Not what they want, in the wrong direction. With under 7 to play here in quarter number 3, it is 30-0 Lucas. WMAN hooking up with the OH Report Saturday night high school playoff football. Lucas, all looks good for the Cubs if they can continue to dominate to move on to the regional semifinals next week against Dalton or Independence next Saturday night. Malvern, quarterback Phillips, going to take it, going to throw it right side. Had a receiver out there, was Johnny Walker. He was covered into the sideline. He will overthrow him, incomplete. And the one thing about a running clock, it feels like Lucas has the ball because that clock's still going now because it's 30 points.
I was going to say, it doesn't really affect this game much other than when balls are thrown incomplete, when Malvern's on offense, but the clock runs anyway when Lucas has got the ball.
Lucas has been impressive tonight. I mean, from the word go, by the way, they have had 4 different guys score a touchdown tonight. It hasn't been one guy, it's been everybody, and that's kind of the Lucas motto. Malvern's going to run the football this time. They'll get a gain across the 15, out near the 17 on the carry that time. It was Bryson White, the fullback, the senior, and it'll bring up 3rd down and long. They'll need about a dozen here from the 17-yard line. You know, Chris, the thing I look at with Malvern, they had a 3-headed monster running the ball. They had 30 combined touchdowns. Each of them had anywhere from 400 to 700 yards. So you kind of thought, man, this is a team that doesn't give up a lot. But I'll tell you what, Lucas has just owned that middle here tonight.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding all night in there. That was another example of how they kind of got the edge and couldn't do anything with it.
Phillips is going to throw on 3rd and long. He's got Walker on the backside, and he's got it. 1st down across the 30, 35, 40, and he'll be tackled around the 43-yard line. Actually, I'm sorry, on the carry that time, it was Xavier Watson, excuse me. Watson caught the ball on the far side of the field across the 40 near the 42, and that is a huge 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, he kind of rolled out left. I don't know if that was designed to come back over there. Certainly, that kind of that half sprint out, if you will, coming towards the Lucas bench, pulled defenders and threw it back to Watson over there all by himself in the flats.
Good job by sophomore Braden Spittler on the tackle for Lucas. So 1st and 10 at the Cub 43. They'll hand the football off again. That's Watson. Took a big hit. Boy, keeps going. Near midfield, he took a shot and kept rolling near midfield. Man,
that was counter coming at us. They've run it a couple times, where they just pull that backside tackle. That's power. He kicks the end, and the backside guard or tackle kind of trying to fold up through on that linebacker, and he hit that hole hard and quick.
Good job by Noah Langston. Braden Jackson on the stop there for the Lucas Cubs. Malvern at midfield. 2nd down, a long 3 to go. 3:47 to play in the 3rd. 30-0 Lucas. Phillips is going to throw. Going to roll to the right. Pressure is on. He throws. Caught by the receiver. Good tackle by Braden Jackson. He was all over the wide receiver right as he caught the football. Terrific play there.
We had to really thread the needle to get that ball in there. Look, he's draped all over him.
That was the fullback, Bryson White.
Good focus, good catch. Bring that in. Maybe up for a 1-yard gain. We got 3rd and 1 here.
Good job by Jackson defensively for Lucas. Put it down at the Lucas 48-yard line. 3rd and 1 Malvern at the Cub 48-yard line. 3:11 to go, 3rd quarter. 30-0 the Lucas lead. Malvern, boy, look like somebody almost moved early, and Lucas says it doesn't matter. They bury the back in the backfield. Terrific play. There he is again. Braden Jackson flew in again and makes the tackle, bringing up 4th and long, and Braden Jackson's been dialed in tonight defensively.
Yeah, and Barrett came
Barrett
through.
as well, you got it. Barrett got there first.
Yeah, he came
cleaned up.
Came screaming through. It was a good read or a blitz or a stun or something. He got him moving, and made first contact in the backfield.
So 4th and 4 now for Malvern. They're back at their own 49-yard line. Under 2.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. They'll throw it. Going to be caught by the receiver. It's ball, and he's got the 1st down to the Lucas 45-yard line. Terrific throw by Phillips. You had Toms, you had Culler, and Jackson all in a little area, and he just able to get it to his big wide receiver for a 1st down.
Threw it right up over top of that outside of Jackson, just outside of his fingertips, to a tall receiver on the outside. So you just kind of throw it up to your guy and let him go up and catch it and keep the football.
Good thing Noah Ball's 6'4", able to go up there and get it, and a 1st down at the Lucas 45-yard line. They'll hand it, they'll run it, and they will go nowhere. Lucas flies in. You can literally name your Cub. Colin Arnold, J.D. Cox. I don't want to leave anybody out here. Hunter Rice, Braden Jackson, all flying in there to drill the running back for a 1-yard loss back to the 46.
I think that was a really good read by Barrett. That backside tackle pulls, and there he is meeting him in the hole. and maintaining that outside leverage. I just, I wasn't sure if he was stunting or blitzing or just reading. I just think he's reading really well right now.
Yeah, Grant Barrett's been really involved here tonight. Quick pass on 2nd and long is going to be caught around the Lucas 42-yard line. The Cubs right there defensively to take the receiver down. That was on the catch. Dylan Phillips put him at the 42. Tell you what, there's really been not a whole lot of yards after catch for Malvern tonight.
Now Lucas is good tackling in space. I mean, they're a good open field tackling football team. It just looked like a stick concept where they ran somebody shallow and tried to slide that hitch out, underneath there.
35 seconds to play here in the third quarter. 3rd and 7. Malvern pass to the far side of the field. Going to be caught by Noah Ball, and he's going to get out of bounds. Doesn't matter, as we mentioned, the clock's running. It's a 30-point lead for Lucas.
Pass is complete to Noah Ball.
And Noah Ball will have a first down. Home and Kitchen Supply first down to the 32-yard line. Tell you what, one of the Cubs
down
on the far side of the field, I thought, it's really cold, but do we have a cramp?
It looks like a cramp. Somebody's stretching out a leg over there.
Yeah, I saw one of the Cubs helping out his teammate. The guy helping him out is Braden Jackson. I don't know who has the cramp, so we'll pause momentarily with 17 seconds to play, and Lucas leading 30-0 here in the third quarter. And again, after the game, we'll select our Spitzer Motors game changer, whose hustle, whose effort changes tonight's game for the Lucas Cubs. So many guys have played so well. That will be a tough decision at the end of the evening. Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street, Ontario. DriveSpitzer.com, their great website. We mentioned trucks, Jeeps, 4-wheel drive, winter's coming. You can feel that in the air. A Jeep or a truck, something 4-wheel drive will get you through anything winter can throw at you. Stop by and see them. West 4th Street, Ontario. Anytime online at DriveSpitzer.com. All right, so I believe that was Brayton Spittler. Yes, it was, with the cramp, able to walk off the field. So that is good news. And the offense will head back out. And once they set that ball ready to play, that clock will roll. Because remember, running clock here in the second half, because it is a 30-point lead for Lucas. I will tell you that this is one of the deepest drives of the night for Malvern. They got down here one other time, and Lucas able to stiffen and keep them out. And I know the Cubs, they don't want to give up a point. You know that, right?
Yeah, they're going to stiffen up here inside. But yeah, Malvern's been able to move the ball through the air here on this drive.
Quick pass left side, going to be caught by Watson, and he is going to be swallowed up by multiple Cubs. With 2 seconds to play here in the third, the clock will run out. Noah Langston on the stop at the 36-yard line, and we'll step aside. 3 quarters in the books. Lucas 30, Malvern nothing. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
It's Frosty and Lucas, I know that. We are down. Chris Miller tells me, he's our meteorologist here in the treehouse, tells me we have dipped under 40, correct?
We are now in the 30s.
And it feels every bit of that, does it not? OH.REPORT agrees, and our cameraman is in shorts.
Still in shorts. What a tough guy.
Chris and I have layers upon layers. As Malvern's going to throw it over the middle, and that ball's going to be intercepted by the Lucas Cubs. As we start the fourth quarter, that's Corbin Toms down the sideline into Malvern territory inside the 30, and he'll be tackled by Watson at around the 27-yard line, and the Lucas defense with a big interception. Corbin Thompson, I thought he might take that one back.
You know, they try to throw over top of the middle of the field, and we've seen earlier and last week at times when teams throw in the middle of the field in between the hashes. Lucas tends to have bodies. They have numbers in there. Looks like they're just protecting that middle of the field with some sort of maybe cover 3 or some sort of zone over top of stuff. And you know, when we think back to Malvern, they've had a little bit of success throwing the ball outside the numbers, keeping that ball. If you go over top of the middle, you know, that's a great interception and a good return back to your bench. Tell your guys, get over here, get the cavalry over here. Let's try to take it back for 6. What a great return.
Absolutely. They'll put the ball actually on the 30-yard line. And you know the one thing that Cub defense says, they want that goose egg. As Malvern's had it down there a couple times around the 30. Lucas, 1st and 10. Again at the Malvern 30, they'll hand it off to Zane Finley, who has been a power guy up the middle. He'll bully his way down near the 26-yard line, give him 4. And that clock running, 11:16 to play here in the 4th quarter. 30-0 Lucas. High school football on WMAN, powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. As Lucas trying to power their way to the regional semifinal, and they look well on their way, the way they played here tonight. And again, it would be next Saturday against either Dalton or Independence, but Coach Spittler doesn't want to think about that yet. He wants to finish strong. They'll run the football this time right side, and that time carrying the football, I believe they had a different back in there that time. I believe that time Hunter Coltrider on the carry, the senior. As first time we've seen him, number 8, get the football, and did a nice job, worked his way down near the 22-yard line. Give him a few yards off the right side, setting up 3rd down and about 2 here for the Lucas Cubs with 10:16 to play in the ball game. Another guy running the football, and Lucas, as we mentioned, running clock, using all kinds of time. They've been really dominant here tonight. The quarterback, Smullen's going to fake it, going to run it left side, inside the 20, down near the 18, and that will be a Home and Kitchen Supply first down as the quarterback just kind of faked it one way, just spun around and went the other way.
Yeah, just kind of a wrinkle in this double wing offense, and part of that the spinner series of offensive football where the quarterback's reversing out, pitching, and then you know, coaches are in the box watching for guys over pursuing, and then they dial that one up where, you know, just fake the pitch, spin out, put your foot in the ground, and get upfield. It's just a nice compliment to what they do.
Lucas, 1st and 10. They'll put the ball at the Malvern 19, inside the red zone. 9.5 to play in the game. They hand the football off, and a good job by Malvern coming in to take the back down. It was Noah Langston. The guy that knifed in was Trevor Slider, the nose guard. He slid in there and made a great tackle for a couple-yard loss back outside the 20 at the 22.
They got his hands up, avoided the cut block, got into the backfield, and made a nice play.
So that'll back the Cubs up, as we mentioned. It'll be 2nd down and about, I guess we'll call it, I would say close to 13 needed for Lucas. They got to get the ball down just inside the 10, and they're back at their own, at the Malvern 22. So close to 13, a little double handoff right here. They get the ball to Langston, nearly squirts loose, gets inside the 20. He'll be tackled at around the 16-yard line. Good job on the stop. Sam Foster, the senior defensive end, he almost wiggled out of another tackle, but a good job right there. He'll get close to 7 yards on that carry, bringing up 3rd down and about 7 to go here for the Lucas Cubs. Clock running, 8:20 to go in the game. They lead 30-0 here over Malvern, and they are in no hurry. And if I'm accurate, the Cubs have not passed once tonight, correct? Am I right on that?
They have not thrown the ball one time. Looks like they've kind of communicated to Smullen, don't address the football until there's 10 seconds on the clock.
All right, they're going to go right side, and the Cubs are going to get a first down. And, boy, they got a good chunk of yardage inside the 5, down near the 1, as they kind of just went to the right, trying to see who had the football that time. For the Lucas Cubs that time, looked like they were going to hand it to Finley. Instead, they didn't. They got it to a different back. It was Grayson Jackson that time, number 9 on the carry. Got his way all the way, fooled everybody, got all the way down to the 1.
Yeah, kind of that play they ran earlier to Hunter. Gave the ball here. They're in the Maryland I again.
You are right. They are in the Maryland I, and the deep guy in the I is Grayson Jackson. They'll hand him the football. He'll bull ahead, and he is in. Touchdown, Lucas Cubs again. It is sophomore Grayson Jackson with his first touchdown of the night, and you could count 5 Cubs. 5 different Cubs have found the end zone here tonight.
Oh, that's great for the kids. Different guys reaching the end zone in a, what's soon to be probably a 37-0 fourth quarter here, and get those other guys involved, get them touches, let them have some success. Some of these kids, come to practice every day and work hard and give other guys looks all year and all week in practice. It's good to have an opportunity to let them, have some carries and score some touchdowns on Friday night. They've earned it too.
We'll take a break. Point after good by Aiden Culler. 37-0 Lucas over Malvern. 7:23 to play. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school playoff football on WMAN.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs playoff football.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Bob Wine Field as Lucas scores another touchdown, their 5th of the night. Kickoff is going to be fielded by Malvern. They'll return it to the 22-yard line, and 7:14 to go in the football game. All Cubs, 37-0. We're talking about our post-game awards during the break, and I'll tell you what, it's so difficult. Lucas, how many times do you score 5 touchdowns by 5 different guys? Finello, Finley, Langston, Barrett, and now Grayson Jackson all have scored here tonight. Tell you what, Zane Finley has kind of been a powerhouse in the middle for the Cubs. He has just owned that middle, and we're going through some of our nominees for our player of the game. We'll talk about that coming up in the post game. We expect to have an interview after tonight's game, as we will have Malvern run the football with Watson. He'll work it left side across the 20 out near the 26-yard line. So he'll get about 4 as that clock over 6.5 to play in the football game. And again, Lucas leading 37-0. So I know you don't put it in pen just yet, but you can kind of pencil the Cubs moving on here to next week in the regional semifinals. And Chris, I know you've coached against Lucas. It's tough to prepare for. You don't feel like you get a lot of possessions. You and I were talking about that, and we'll talk about that after this play, as Watson's going to carry it left side across the 30, and he's going to be real close to a first down. He may have it. He does. Across the 37 out near, actually across the 33, actually put him on the 33. Going to say across, but right on the 33. So move the chains with 6 minutes to play in the game. 37-0 Lucas. Malvern will have a fresh set of downs. Talk about, you go into a game, you feel pressure because you might say, are we going to get 5 possessions? And if Lucas scores on several, well, we got to score. You get limited possessions when you face Lucas.
Yeah, I mean, we played Lucas last year and kind of knew we're probably going to get the ball 5 times, and we did. We got the ball 5 times. We scored on 3, and it just kind of changes how you approach play calling when you know every opportunity that you have the ball. Every possession is 1/5 of the total possessions you're going to have. So you need to make sure you continue to move the chains and be extremely efficient with the football when you have it, and don't squander those opportunities. Sometimes you take some risks in football games because you're going to get it, maybe seven, 8 possessions, and just Lucas just does a nice job at limiting that.
And the Cubs, by the way, have scored every single time they've touched the football here tonight. They've had 6 possessions, 5 touchdowns, and 1 field goal. And that field goal, when the clock expired, they have not punted once here tonight. Second down, about 3 to go. Quarterback is going to roll Phillips, and pressure was on. I mean, it was coming in a hurry. He'll just throw it into the sideline. Grant Barrett and company was bearing down. It'll be incomplete. Zeke Zierzo also was coming flying in. He'll throw it out of bounds. Otherwise, he was going to get drilled.
Yeah, it looks like they threw a penalty
Did they
flag,
throw one?
maybe, and the official kind of signaled intentional grounding.
There was nobody in the area.
He threw it over top of the players on the sideline.
And they're going to march him back. So as the quarterback rolled, I mentioned it was Barrett and Zierzo were bearing down, and he just unloaded that thing into the sideline. And I don't know there was anybody from Malvern anywhere in what you would call, quote, the neighborhood. Yeah. So it will be intentional grounding on Malvern, and it'll back them up, and it'll put that football inside the 25 at the 23. Clock running, under 4 to play in the football game. 37-0 is the Lucas lead, and I don't know how many times I can say, if you're just joining us, Lucas has dominated from the word go.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, if Malvern's got some trick plays or maybe some hook and ladders or some reverses, it's just time to empty all that.
And the quarterback Phillips is going to roll out to the left, nowhere to go. He's going to tuck it down and run. He'll get across the 25 and step out of bounds, where we're going to put him 29-yard line. It looks like where they'll mark him on the far side of the field. 4th down and long here for Malvern. It's going to be a good 14, 15 yards for Malvern. They got to get out to their own 42-yard line for a first down. Right now they're at the 29. 3 minutes even to play, and Malvern's going to punt the football. Noah Ball is standing back at his own 15-yard line. And the Cubs didn't have anybody initially back. Now they'll drop a man back deep. He'll boot the ball away. It'll sail into Cub territory, hit about the 44 as Corbin Toms will just let that baby roll inside the 30, and Malvern will touch it up at the 27-yard line, and that is where Lucas will take over. Clock stops on a change of possessions. The Cubs are going to come out and do what the Cubs do. They're going to run the football, and we're going to be out of here maybe before 9 o'clock. This game's going to be wrapped up in 2 hours. How about that?
Yeah, that's incredible.
You scored 37 points in less than 2 hours, and you flat out dominate. That's Cub football.
Yeah, I think it was, 8:05 at halftime? And so that running clock made a difference in about, 5 minutes of total time?
Well, I'll tell you what. Nice crowd here tonight, as always, from Lucas Malvern. I know they have to make about a 90-minute trip. Some fans on the far side here at Bob Wine Field. Ball is ready for play, so the clock is running. 2:24 to go in the game. Lucas leading 37-0. They'll hand the football off. They'll work it right side, and man, look at that. Across the 35 out to the 40. Off that right side, that was Grayson Jackson again on the carry. He's got a couple here late. Of course, had a touchdown, and Lucas able to get nearly 13 yards on a home and kitchen supply first down. Nice to see some of the young guys getting involved here late for Lucas.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was saying. The last drive, it was Grayson Jackson as a sophomore. He's probably, through the week running the football and scout teams and so on and so forth. So it's nice seeing those guys get touches.
Yeah, getting rewarded here. 1:44 to go in the football game. Lucas leading 37-0 over Malvern. 1st and 10 at at their own 40-yard line. Now they're getting toward Malvern territory as they pitch it to a new running back into the football game. We'll tell you once we uncover people from the bottom of the pile carrying the football that time. Daniel Hawkinsmith, a 5'8", 150-pound freshman for the Lucas Cubs. Nice run right there up the middle.
Yeah, it was a good hard run.
Give him 10 yards, a home and kitchen supply first down. And tell you what, Lucas, no matter who they bring in behind that O-line, they're just moving people, finding lanes.
What's that tell you about the offensive line?
Yeah, doesn't it? Can we have a whole O-line as the player of the game. I like the sound of that. Everybody like the sound of that?
I'm always a big
I like
fan
the
of
sound of that.
Those guys need more love.
I don't have 5 T-shirts with me, but I can bring them next time as the Cubs are going to go to the victory formation at midfield as knee down by Andrew Smullen. Kind of weird to, if you're the Cubs, you're here at midfield and you're taking a knee, the clock's running, and it just the way this game is gone, I want to put it in the words of, you just feel like it's even more than 37-0.
Yeah,
even though it's 37-0 is a big win.
It was a dominating performance by Lucas. Looks like we had a little scrum there.
Yeah, get a little pushing and shoving there as knee down by Smullen with 18 seconds to play in the game, and they're not going to have to snap it again, or I don't believe so. They haven't reset the play clock.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
Yep, that will be it. Down to 5 seconds, and we can tell you as the clock hits triple zeros, the Lucas Cubs are marching on. The Lucas Cubs have defeated the Malvern Hornets by a final score of 37-0 in dominant fashion, as Lucas will move on to the regional semifinals next week. They'll battle either Doubt or Independence. What a performance by the Cubs in a game that took under 2 hours flat. Cubs marching on in the football playoffs. We'll step aside. We'll come back. We'll have our player of the game and hand out our awards and put a wrap on this one. Final score tonight from Bob Winefield. It was Lucas 37 and Malvern nothing. We'll wrap it up next. You're listening to High School Playoff Football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Stop in the Cub Cave Carryout in Lucas. Conveniently stocked with everything you need, and even a one-stop pet shop. Located on Ohio 39 in the heart of Lucas. Proudly supporting Cubs playoff football.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
Goodness, what a catch!
field as Lucas has defeated Malvern tonight in the Division 7 regional quarterfinal by a final score of 37-0. With the win, Lucas improves to 10-1, and they are off to the regional semifinals next week against either Dalton or Independence. That'll be next Saturday night. Malvern ends a very nice year at 9-3. We will be handing out our awards coming up in just a moment, and we're going to have several guys joining us here in the post-game interview here tonight, as we're excited as Lucas with a big win here tonight, hand out our awards, and of course post-game show brought to you by your friends at the Mansfield-Richland County Public Library. There's 9 branches in Richland County, and there's one super proud branch tonight right here in Lucas. Check out all the upcoming events online at your branch of the Mansfield-Richland County Public Library, online at mrcpl.org. This one's in the books. Let's wrap it up, and we'll tell you that 5 different Lucas Cubs scored touchdowns tonight, and Aiden Culler booted a 45-yard field goal. That's how they scored 37 points. It began at the 7:03 mark of the opening quarter on a 6-yard touchdown run by junior Andrew Finello. Culler's point after good made it 7-0 Lucas. That's how we wrapped up the opening quarter. At the 9:24 mark of the second quarter, it was a 3-yard touchdown run by Zane Finley, who was very impressive tonight running the football. Point after good by Culler, 14-0 Lucas. At the 1:42 mark of the second quarter, a 4-yard touchdown run by Noah Langston. Point after good by Culler, made it 21-0 Lucas. Then the Cubs, in their 2-minute offense, without throwing it, they ran it, they got it down there, they got a timeout, and Aiden Culler booted a 45-yard field goal, made it 24-0 Lucas at the half. Cubs scored twice in the second half, third quarter at the 7:52 mark, a 4-yard touchdown run by senior Grant Barrett. Point after was blocked. That was the only thing that didn't go their way all night, made it 30-0 Lucas. And then the Cubs with one more score in the fourth quarter at the 7:23 mark. It was a 4-yard touchdown run by Grayson Jackson, and that made it 37-0 Lucas on the point after by Aiden Culler. So 37-0 Lucas, dominant performance here tonight. We begin with our awards here, Chris Miller. Let's begin with who made a heck of a play from Mansfield's injury lawyer, Jeff Heck. We begin with the kicker, Aiden Culler, 45-yard field goal in high school. I know he can boot it 50-plus. He was impressive on that field goal.
Yeah, we've said this a number of times last week and this week. The kid has got a leg, and I just love how the ball disappears into the night. It goes past the light and keeps going. And so, yeah, that was an impressive high school kick.
Yeah, an impressive win tonight for the Lucas Cubs. And a big field goal by Aiden Culler, again, who booted one from 45 yards out here tonight for the Lucas Cubs, as they win tonight 37-0 over the Malvern Hornets. And we will be having our post-game interview in just a moment here with the Lucas Cubs. We'll also throw out our Gander Door Defensive Player of the Game. Gander Door, serving everybody in the area with all your residential, commercial garage door needs. And we're going to go with senior Grant Barrett, who was really dialed in at the linebacker spot here tonight.
He did a great job in there, just kind of reading and reacting. And I mean, he was so fast on those reads at times, I thought maybe they were dialing up some pressure with him, but I just think he was dialed in to reading what was in front of him and getting out in front and being physical in the backfield for Lucas.
Again, that was Grant Barrett. He is our Gander Door Defensive Player of the Game. Gander Door, serving the area with all your residential and commercial garage door needs. They're always in your neighborhood. Visit ganderdoor.com, and I believe we are good to go here. On to our Spitzer Motors Game Changer, our player of the game. As down in front of us, we have the Lucas offensive line. Normally we go with one guy as the player of the game, but the O-line was so good here tonight. Don't know if we want to have Colin Arnold, J.D. Cox, one of you guys that are seniors, step up and grab the mic here to say a few words. Whoever would like to talk with us on air, feel free to step. Colin Arnold's going to come up. Colin, let's hand you the microphone there.
So the guy with the best mullet gets
grab
to talk.
that. First of all, Colin, congratulations. Player of the game, Spitzer Motors Game Changer tonight. The offensive line, you guys set the tone tonight. If you would talk about what you guys were able to do and dominate here on the O-line.
It all starts out with a good week of practice. You know, we had our scout team come out and give us a really good look, and we knew that it was going to be a dogfight, but I think at the end we just wanted it more.
Well, as you talk about wanting to get more, you guys come out and you guys are able just to take it right down the field. What's it like out there? You guys are out there just moving that ball 5 yards, 7 yards, opening the holes. You guys got to be proud when you see one of the backs like Finello or somebody be able to get free for a big run, and you guys are the ones that are able to spring them.
You know, it's great, but we just got to line up and keep doing it. You know, that's how we score. We just got to 5 yards at a time keep going. We can't be satisfied.
You're hearing from Colin Arnold, one of the guys on the offensive line for the Lucas Cubs. As you talk about opening the holes, talk about you guys and facing your offense, because I'll talk to other coaches and they say, boy, Lucas is so hard to play against. What do you guys do that's so difficult? Is it that low pad level you guys go with? Talk about what you guys do and the challenges you guys oppose for the opposition.
It all starts with Spit. You know, he come in, he brought a culture that not very many people have, and he taught us to work hard and be nasty in the trenches, and that's what it is.
I like the sound of that. Now, before I let you go, 8 straight years for the Lucas Cubs in the playoffs. You're on to the regional semifinals. As you're growing up, coming through the program, you see all those great teams making the run. I'm assuming you guys are thinking, we want to be next, right?
Yeah. Bigger and better every year.
All right, well, congratulations, Colin Arnold. The whole offensive line. Defensive line played great as well. Guys, we appreciate you joining us. I'm going to grab a photo. If you would, just stand there and smile for us. I know the OH Report's got the camera on you. Congratulations, guys. Great ball game tonight, and we'll see you next week, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Colin. Appreciate that. The Lucas entire offensive line joining us here in the postgame. I'm going to roll through all the names. I know Colin Arnold able to come up and chat with us as Hey, Colin, hold that up. We'll grab a photo of you, okay? Our Spitzer Motors game changer, Colin Arnold, on the offensive line for the Lucas Cubs. As we're going to grab a photo of Colin before we let him go officially here. Great ball game, Colin. Thank you, Colin Arnold. Our Spitzer Motors game changer on the offensive line, player of the game for the Lucas Cubs. And let's rattle off all the names on that O-line for the Lucas Cubs. You just heard a moment ago from Colin Arnold, J.D. Cox, Zane Finley's on that line. You go through there and you talk about, Bradley Watt. You go through with Colin Arnold. We talked about Zeke Zierzo, Nate Roseberry, Hunter Rice. Tell you what. All those guys blocked so well. And it was so difficult tonight for us when you pick a player of the game, because those guys were the player of the game.
Yeah, they really were. I love seeing offensive linemen get recognition. They're not the guys in the paper. You don't read about those guys much, and it's just a testament to, like Colin said, the culture here. They're just – they're not selfish. They understand their role. And I think the older you get and the better you get, the more you kind of relish in those moments where, hey, we're not the glory guys. We're the guys in here working hard and taking elbows to the face and continue to fight. And there's satisfaction in that locker room with those guys, with one another. And you could tell this team loves each other. So it was great. I love seeing the whole line up here.
I'll tell you what, a lot of times you don't get to visit with the guys on the line, and it's really cool to see them come up there and Colin Arnold grab the microphone and talk. And I love when you brought up Coach Spittler. You know what I mean? It's like Eric Will, who always talks about the culture he's built here at Lucas, and they see the class in front of them make a deep playoff run. They're coming up through, and they just – you don't want to say they just plug in a new guy and go, but you kind of feel they've been able to do that. I know they've had a great run, but, Chris, that's easier said than done. They've been on quite a run here at Lucas.
Yeah, it is. They have been. And, like you said, the younger classmen look up and see the guys before them doing it, and the little kids out here running around throwing the football, in the 39-degree weather, are here watching it happen, and then dream of being that guy one day, and obviously Coach Spittler's done a great job of cultivating that and continuing to move these guys forward.
Well, the Lucas Cubs with an impressive win here tonight. Spitzer Motors game changer. We handed the T-shirt to Colin Arnold, but that whole O-line absolutely deserves the credit. They are our player of the game tonight as they paved the way to a Lucas 37-0 win. Visit Spitzer Motors online, drivespitzer.com. They're open West 4th Street in Ontario. Again, anytime at drivespitzer.com. As that's pretty much the story here tonight from Lucas. 37-0. They win here tonight over the Malvern Hornets. They are on to the regional semifinal. Next week, they'll face either Dalton or Independence. And the last thing as we wrap it up, Chris, I can't repeat it enough how impressive they were at the point of attack tonight.
Great job. I mean, you're watching some of these replays, and just you know, the fact that the line just continues to push and move the pile and change the point of attack, if you will, for the opposing defense. And you know, it's going to be one of those things that's so hard to prepare. And as they get deeper in the playoffs, offenses like this really relish in deep playoff runs, because it's not weather affected, it's not rain affected, it's steady, it's consistent, and hopefully it pays off for them in a real deep run this year.
I'll say it real quick as we leave. I did a Lucas game 2 years ago. It was raining and snowing. They played Cuyahoga Heights. Nothing stops that Cub offense. They'll go through anything, and they were impressive here tonight. Final score one more time in the high school football game of the week, powered by Stone Ridge and Lexington. It was Lucas 37 and Malvern nothing. Coach Chris Miller, thank you for coming up. Terrific work. Camden, Jory, as always, OH Report, great work. Thank you for listening. Final score, that final time. Lucas marching on to the regional semifinals. They win tonight. Final score, Lucas 37 and Malvern nothing, as we say good night from Lucas.